Hi there, Pisces. Welcome to a special reading for the solstice. This is Raina, and I'm using some oracle cards in combination with the tarot card. And I will tell you the names of the decks as I, pick the cards. After I'm done with the particular laying out of the cards. The first two cards that I laid down, so the one in the middle, the one right above it, are both from the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. And I just realized in the last reading I just did, that I filmed, that this is probably a South American theme. And therefore, with shamanism, maybe it is always Central America and South America, but no, there are Mexican shamans, so it's probably the Americas in general. So for the Passion card, you got the corn, and this is like what really radiates at your core right now, and this is concerned with practical matters. So the sense of abundance, I guess corn is a symbol of prosperity, which makes sense to me now. The color and also the importance that corn has as a crop in the Americas. So that is what you are really concerned about, but it's not about being concerned about or preoccupied by. It's really something that you feel enthusiastic about. So that is really wonderful, because embracing abundance and wanting more of it is a good thing. And then I got a card for how you radiate best in the world, and I got the Earth Keeper. And I am going to read from the booklet because I haven't picked this card. I had picked the corn card several times. So I'm going to read from the booklet for that one, and I think it's going to be about being a steward of the earth, but I got to check. I did pick that one also before, but yeah, stewardship of the earth and all life. They choose to hold the sacred dream of a planet where all beings live in peace and where the rivers and air are clean. Take care of your pets and feed the strays that come by. This is also about the foods that you eat. And for those Pisces people who are really into plant-based foods, this is your opportunity by what you do, and also taking care of animals, feeding strays. These are things that you can do without having to say a word. And other people, including your children and those around you, will get the message in a much better way than being preachy. And I know personally, as somebody who has been a vegetarian for many years, that when I was in a workplace where there were other people around me, it was amazing how people were like so tuned into what other people ate, or what I ate specifically. Oh, what's that? What are you eating? Because it was so different from what they were eating. So being, if you are similar, you can be such a great thing. It's like if you have like a green smoothie and you give it to your child, you happen to be in public and people are like, what is that? Just by you explaining it, you plant seeds in other people's minds. And it has such reverberations. It's not just about helping to preserve the earth. It's about the health message that you're spreading to others. And when people are like preachy, they turn people off. And it's like walking the walk, walking the talk. Okay? And this is the card this is supposed to be the message to know on this solstice day, represented by Joan of Arc, voice of truth. And it says, stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution, and speak your truth. So you're getting a bunch of like very activist types of messages here, Pisces. This card that I just held up is from the Keepers of the Light Oracle deck. Joan of Arc was a medieval French peasant girl who is reported to have been visited by Archangel Michael and other saints, who gave her information on how she could help Charles VII save France from English domination. She was only a teenager when she went into battle for her country and won a huge victory. She was, however, later captured and burned at the stake. These days she is a supremely loving guide to all those who want to stand up against the odds. She also helps many light workers overcome their fear of persecution. And, you know, who's more of a light worker than a Pisces person, whether they know it or not? You're being encouraged to stand strong. You may feel unrecognized and misunderstood, but that doesn't mean you have to give up on a mission you feel called to fulfill. You must follow the will of your soul and exercise your leadership spirit by speaking your truth. You may feel as if you're on a battlefield, but this conflict will come to an end as soon as you stop defending yourself. You are not here to prove yourself to others. Instead, approve of yourself. Know that your angels are on your side and that heaven is thanking you for being the honest soul you are. I always think that Pisces and Libra have one thing in common, and they're both very concerned about others' reactions, you know, out of all the signs. And it's very, I feel like it's so important to be genuine in the way that you relate to other people. Not necessarily harsh, you know, that's certainly, that's something I have to, it's not, you know, I'm not trying to be harsh, but I'm more blunt, but not necessarily blunt, but just, you know, trusting that people have the ability to handle you being different. And Pisces people are different. Not maybe in the same way that Aquarians are, but you definitely have one foot in heaven, you know, in terms of your, I should say that your mind or your consciousness is sometimes in other realms, and you're like kind of otherworldly, ethereal. So embracing that and not trying to hide it by trying to be like other people is so important, I think. Ancient light, what to leave behind. The Two of Swords represents indecision. I got this for another sign, so that would be interesting if the two of you, and it wasn't Libra either, I don't think. I think it was Capricorn. No, it wasn't Capricorn. Virgo? I think it was Virgo. I'm not sure about that. But it was another sign. And so no, I think it was Scorpio. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was Scorpio. So maybe you have to decide between two people and one of them is a Scorpio. But actually, That was another thing that you might have in common with Libra, is indecision, because Libra is infamous for that. Now, as I said with Libra's reading, well, as I've said before about, now it's probably to Scorpio, when you have indecision, a lot of times it's not trusting your own judgment. And sometimes this comes from when you're growing up and you're told things that obviously are not true. Like, you didn't see that. That never happened. And it obviously did. Something in the family that was shameful, terrible. And so then you start to question your perceptions. Well, am I really seeing things as they are? Can I really believe what I see and the reactions that I have to certain things? And the thing about Pisces, though, is that you are naturally so intuitive that out of all the signs, you should be able to clearly see what you need to do. So that's always one of life's little ironies, when a person who is naturally intuitive has a hard time making a decision. And this is because you're rejecting your gift in some way. You're not embracing the fact that you have this ability to really have be strongly in touch with that part of you that is like a sixth sense, or feeling rather than thinking. And feeling is how we have to make decisions. They have to be based on our desires, not on some kind of remote intellectual reason. I'm going to wait for this train to pass because it's drowning me out. It's funny, the rain is pouring, and then on top of that I have a train coming by. So I guess I have to end this reading pretty soon. But the reason I really want to impress this upon you is that I've gotten a fair number of Pisces clients, and I think that a lot of them are very talented in the intuitive arts, and even for themselves. But sometimes maybe it is, that's probably what it is. It's probably that emotionally you get too wrapped up in whatever is going on, and it's hard to be impartial, which is what the swords represent, that sense of detachment, intellectual detachment. So it's probably more about those kinds of scenarios. And when I said that you have to go by your desires, I meant your feelings. I shouldn't have said desire, because that sometimes is not, sometimes the things that you desire are not necessarily in your highest good. But if something feels right, it probably is the right direction to go in, provided that it's not something that is just self-indulgent. But if it's something that makes you feel like enthusiastic, then don't override your initial reaction by trying to think of all the negatives. And the outcome, well, this is not it's not an outcome. It's just saying what to do more of in the future. Now, this is a card called attachment. We'll see. It might be about not doing that more in the future. Who knows? Depending on if it's a positive card or not. Perceived need and the choice to let go. In the upright position, this card reveals that your passage forward is being stopped by strong attachments to old patterns or people from the past. The chain at your wrist is bolted to fear from the past or desperation about the future. Although you may wear the mask of pretense or even contentment, you simply cannot seem to go forward. The stuff that's keeping you stuck could be physical addictions, emotional patterns, or even old relationships. Are you living in fear, addicted to old unhealthy habits, or so desperate about the future that you can't be happy now? If so, the chains that bind you could be of your own making. This card is telling you that it's time to take the action you need to break out of your chains and move forward to an open, free, healthy, and authentically happy life. It may take some courage and effort to let go, but know that you're capable of doing it. Until you do, the difficult energy will just repeat itself, keeping you stuck. Well, that is certainly a good one. And I'm just going to leave you with that. If there's anything that you need to let go of. We are having a full moon in Capricorn. This is happening a week from the solstice, around the 28th, 27th, 28th. And that could be a time to really let go of that which is not serving you. Okay, Pisces, I hope you enjoyed this, and I wish you a magical solstice. Take care. Bye.